Hello everyone, my name is Gabriel. Welcome to today's after class tutorial session. Let's get started. I'm moving straight into my Excel sheet. Remember, I'm using Microsoft 365, the latest version. So some things might be different from yours if you are using an earlier version. The data we have is from a company called Doris Akusia Ventures, where we have the employee data and a small data on the right in the table format, which is more like our lookup table. It has the branches and their manager's name. If you look at the employee data on our left, you can see the manager's name are actually missing, and we have to get it back. How do we go about it? Is that cool? Xlookup comes in handy. If you are using an older version, then you can also use your VLOOKUP. So let's go with our Xlookup. You start a function or formula with an equal sign. Our function name comes, which is Xlookup. You open parentheses, and we are good to go. Our first argument is our lookup value in our case now, which is our branch code. Our second argument becomes our lookup array, which we have to move to the table on the right, and we select the first column where the branch codes are. And our last argument will be our return array, which will be the branch manager's names. You close the parentheses and you make sure you select the data that is in the lookup array on our right, and make sure you block it. Do you remember how to block? Nice one there. Quick recap. You introduce the dollar signs in front of each of the items there. And I'm using my shortcut key where I just use my F4 on my keyboard. After that, bingo. All you have to do is just you drag downwards, just like I'm doing, or better still, you use your autofill. You click on that small dot at the down right corner, and you are good to go. Thank you. Okay, how are we going to work on the length of stay? If you want to do the number of years somebody has been with the organization, here we are doing it in years, then the dated if function comes in handy, or the date diff, or like date difference comes in handy. You start the formula with an equal sign. The function name here is dated if. You open your parentheses, and your first argument here becomes your start date. In our case, our start date is the hiring date. Is that okay? And the second argument is our end date. Our end date here becomes today's date. Remember, my today is as at the date that I am shooting this very tutorial. So your today might be different from mine. Your last argument becomes the unit. In our case now, which is going to be a Y because we are calculating in years. Remember, always put the unit in double quotation. Bingo. Oh, but sorry, I can see that the thing came in a date format. It's just because of the cell format. Always don't be worried. If a function or formula is correct, check the format, just like I did. Your home tab, you just change the format, and you are good to go. You can pause the video now and practice same. Remember, we are not in a rush, and I'm here to help you. All right, let's move on now. We want to do same for the number of days. Assuming you want to calculate the number of days somebody has been with a company, and you can apply to any other thing. So far as you are calculating the number of days, the same dated if function comes in handy. The only difference becomes the unit where you are going to put in a. So for the purpose of our class, I'm changing the heading to days, and I'll start my formula of function with an equal sign. I type in my function name, which is my dated if, close parenthesis. My start date is my hiring date. My end date is today's date, which is a today function, which is TODAY, bracket open, bracket close. My comma, my last argument is the unit, which in this case, when you are counting days, should be a D. Remember, it should always be in a double quotation. I close my parenthesis and I hit on enter, and bingo, I am there. Fantastic. Let's try the same with months. I need you to practice this. Try with months. I believe in you. Remember, it's the same thing. Just try. Just try. Go ahead, just like I'm doing. If you are stuck, just rewind the video and take it up from there. I am going to guide you through the process. One step at a time. You will be good. I believe in you. So the last unit is just what is going to be an M, representing a month. And bingo, that's how it is. And I autofill. This time I select both, and I use my autofill, the dot at the down right corner. I click on it once, and voila, we are there. Isn't that so cool? Thank you. Let's see what we can do next. Always be careful with the formatting. I told you, don't be scared. If you know your formula or function is correct and you got something different, always check on the formatting. So let me on purpose change the format of a date to something else, and let's see. So I go to my home tab, I click and select general, and as you can see, just carefully watch, my date has changed to number. So if you see something like this, all you have to do is to go to your home tab and change the format to date back, and you are good to go. A quick tip, check in your assignment, there is something like this in there. Is that cool? Fantastic. Let's move on to how to count the staff within every branch. So here we are using two different criteria. We have the branches and we have the branch managers, the manager's name. So because we have two criteria, we are using the count ifs function, count if with an X. So first, equal sign, just like I've done, and you have your count if. The first argument becomes your criteria range. So in my case, I selected the branch code. And my next one after the comma is where the branch code is on my lookup table. So that is, so I've done my first criteria, I'm done. My second criteria here becomes the branch manager. So my criteria range is my branch manager. So I'm selecting all within the employee data. I make sure I block it by introducing my dollar signs, just like we've done a number of times. Comma, and my branch manager's name becomes the last. I close my parentheses and I hit on enter, and Excel will do the counting for me. That is so cool. I need you to practice this. Don't be in a rush. Just pause. I am here for you. Do it at your end. Welcome back. Let's move straight to our second sheet where we are going to practice on basic sorting and filtering. However, before we do that, we have to do some basic things. If I want to know the surnames from names in my left corner, how do we go about it? Do you remember? All right, so let me guide you through this one. What you have to do is just begin to type in the surname. You can type one or two. So I'm typing in Mark Atta. Then afterwards, I'm going to do for Davi, as you can see. And when I get to the third point, all I'll do is I'll hit on Control and E. E for everything. Control E. E for everything. Control plus E. And bingo. You save time. That's so cool. If you don't get it, and if you use any of the latest versions like mine, that I'm doing now, then you have to go through this process. As you type the first name and you type the second surname, Excel will try and predict what you're trying to say. If it's okay, you just hit on enter and you save time. I'll advise you all use the latest versions of Microsoft Excel. It makes you more efficient. Nice one there. You can try at your end. I'm here. Welcome back. I will quickly put in the branch manager's name because we just did it in some 5-10 minutes ago. I'm using my Xlookup. I'm quickly doing that. Whilst I do that, you can pause the video at your end and you practice how to extract the first names from the name. So I'm quickly doing it quickly. I'm using the Xlookup. I'll make sure I block what I need to block. Do you remember blocking? Where you have to bring in your dollar signs. The length of stay, I'm going to use my, thank you for shouting what I'm going to use. The function name here is dated if. I open my parentheses, my start date, my comma, my end date, which I'm going to use today's function, and I use a Y. That's a quick one because we have just done it. So now that I have my data completed within the table, let's see what we can do with sorting and filtering. Think about the difference between sorting and filtering. You are not wrong. I'll assist you to get it better. Just think about it. All right. Excel can help you as you begin to learn how to use Excel to analyze data. Sorting and filtering comes in as it helps you to rearrange your data in a particular way when a certain condition is met. Or you can check out and only see what you want to see. Let's say you want to just see an aspect of the data, then you can always use your filtering. I always love to filter from the data tab. So I go to my data tab and you can see filter and sort from there. You can do same from the home tab. I prefer the data tab. So I go to my data tab. I select anywhere within the data. So I selected somewhere within the department column and I just click on sort and bingo. It has arranges from A to Z. What if I want to do same for surname? Arrange the surnames in alphabetical order. click anywhere within it, just like I've done. Go to your data tab and hit on, let's say, Z to A. And so arrange from Z downwards. Is that okay? Nice one there. It doesn't work only with strings or text. It can also work with dates. So let's sort per date. The older date comes on top, and as you can see, 1984 comes on top. So you can do same, could do cool stuff. Just make sure your data is rearranged well so that people depending on it to take a decision will not struggle. Is that okay? It works with numbers, it works with dates, it works with text, just like I've practiced here. Now you can practice one at your end. Welcome back. Let's talk about the difference between sort and filter now. As you saw, when you were filtering, we only rearrange the data based on a certain criteria or a certain condition, either E to Z or Z to A. But when you filter, you sieve out what you don't want to see and only see those ones that meet the condition. So as usual, you click on anywhere within the data and you go to your home tab and you click on that funnel icon there. When that is done, you see there will be some icons like a drop down icon on top of all the headings. And you can hit on any of the down arrows and you uncheck things you don't want to see. You filter them out and you only check things you want to see. Is that cool? Let me try another one. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to my manager column and I'm selecting only reports. I need report for some selected managers, only for Camilla and Doris. So all the other managers' data has been filtered out, and I can also even filter once I can also sort after I have filtered. As you can see, Camilla's name comes first and Doris is downwards there. So you can just play around with sorting and filtering at the same time. This is all to make sure your data is presented in a way that the decision makers would not struggle. Is that okay? So click on that small down arrow and you can just filter out things you don't want to see and all that. Remember, it's all about practice, 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 and you can be so good. Is that fine? If you have any question, leave it in the comment section below or send me an email and I'll be there to assist you. What if you want to take out the filter icons there? You go to your data tab, click on that filter funnel, and everything has disappeared. Nice one there. You're back to the original data. Is that okay? So anytime you click on that funnel, it comes back. Once again, my name is Gabriel. If you have any other question, leave it in the comment section below. I thank you for being part of this tutorial section, and I'm always here to assist you. See you in our next class. Bye.